episode 43 of the Little Drops of Wonderful podcast. This is my podcast to talk about all things knitting, crochet, yarny and craft related, all of the good stuff. My name is Ali and I live in Kent in the UK with my husband and our two daughters who are 8, and we have a teenager in the house. Our eldest has just turned 13 on Sunday. Today is Thursday. And you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Starry Eyes Ali. What else? Oh yes, I'm vlogging at the moment, in case you didn't know. I'm doing April vlogs, so I'm uploading a little daily video every day in April. So, and I've rejigged some things on this channel. So when you look at the channel, when you arrive at the sort of front page of the channel, there should be playlists now on the front of it. So you'll have like popular uploads, and then playlists, and I put all my vlogs in playlists at the bottom. What else? Oh, we have a Ravelry group. It's called Little Drops of Wonderful on Ravelry. That's where most of the giveaways and things take place. And I'm announcing the winner of last time's giveaway, which was for a crochet sock pattern. I have 2 more pattern giveaways to announce this episode, and a very exciting book giveaway. And I've got 2 copies to give away. I'm going to give one away on the podcast and one away on Instagram, but we'll get to that later. I don't have very much time today, so I'm going to try and get through this as quickly as possible and try to keep it to under an hour, but we all know that I'm terrible at that. But today, all the show notes and timestamps for everything I'm going to talk about are underneath this video. So if you have anything you want to find out about, it's underneath. I don't do links, I just put the information there so you can go and Google it. But if you're stuck or there's anything I miss out, just drop me an email at littledropsofwonderful@gmail.com, or send me a comment or a message on Instagram, or any which way, and try to get hold of me. We're going to talk today about finished objects. I have 3 finished objects. 3 finished objects. Numerous works in progress. Some patterns on my radar. Some incoming goodies. A blast from the past if we've got time. I'm going to announce those giveaway winners and new giveaways. And I think that's it. I'm not going to do a sharing the love today, just purely because I'm going to run out of time and I need to get this done quickly, and I've got lots of other things to talk about. So shall we begin with finished objects? Last time, this is the very first thing I want to show you very quickly. Last time I showed you my almost finished Nalya Wrap, which is a crochet wrap, a pattern by Shara Made, that I made using my Advent minis for my Little French Meadow Advent calendar. And I was absolutely delighted with it, but I hadn't blocked it and I hadn't added the tassels. So here is the finished blocked version. It has only got tassels at one end because I suddenly realised I still hadn't done it, and quickly made some just before I started. I was going to say just before I came on air. I think I thought I was on, I don't know, this morning or something. Just before I started podcasting, I made 3 tassels to go on the end. That was fun to do. And I've got 4 tassels to go on the other end. And it's all blocked, so you can get a really good sense of all how it looks now and how all the colours sit together. Maybe I should do that. Maybe that would be a good thumbnail for the podcast. Maybe not. So you can get a good sense of all the lovely colours. I absolutely love all of these colours. And then I've got 4 tassels to just pop at the other end there. I was just looking to see if I could show you some of the ones that really stood out at me as favourites. I really enjoyed this colour, this peachy colour. I'm not normally a peachy person, but I really liked that one. And I really like this icy one here as well. Yeah, so that's my finished Nalya Wrap, all finished, all but weaving in one end and adding 4 more tassels. And I'm really thrilled to bits with that. I would definitely make one again. Shall I pop that there? Is that going to be distracting if I leave it there? Yeah, I'll leave that there. And I've got, this is the natural, I've got loads left of that I can use for other little projects. And this is my little balled up scraps. So all I think there's 24 or 26 colours in there. And I just balled all the little scraps up as I went along. There's about 25 grams here, so I think I might put them into my corner to corner moss stitch crochet scrappy blanket, which I haven't shown you in a while, so I might show you that next time. Very pleased with that. And my next finished object hasn't been blocked yet, and I didn't block it because I was worried it wouldn't dry in time for podcasting. It's been living in my lovely bag, which has been the perfect size, and this was a gift from Arminity, who is a viewer of this podcast, and she sent me a whole little package from Canada, and in it I have been keeping my falling ivy shawl. This was a gift from Hannah from the Cozy Cottage Crochet, who is the author of this pattern. She gave a copy of this a while back to give away, and she gave me my own copy too. And I wanted to make it in just two very subtle grey colours. So I used Drops Merino, and I finished it a few days ago. It's a very relaxing project to make. What's the right side? This is the right side. I've just used a dark grey and a light grey, or a dark grey and a medium grey. It's really long and narrow. It's a scarf, really. And this yarn is just lovely. It's really drapey and really heavy. I guess the cotton makes it drapey and the merino makes it heavy, which makes it a really snug thing to wear around your neck. I'll just put it on to demonstrate. Like I say, it hasn't been blocked, so I haven't blocked out all the petals yet. But when I put it, it is so soft. I really enjoyed working with this yarn. I think it would be a really good garment yarn. And like I say, when you've got it on, it is super snug and super cozy. I mean, it just feels like it's going to have a good kind of wind barrier as well. Yes, I'm really pleased with it. It was really nice to work on as well, because you do have, it's a bit like working on endless garter stitch, I guess, in crochet form. It's just endless single crochet until you get to the border. So you don't have to engage your brain. You just change colour every now and then, and you just keep going. It's a really good project for travelling or sitting at the swimming pool while the kids are doing their lessons, or just when you've had a long day and you can't think about anything else. And I'll just show you close up the petals. Here we go. They need a little bit of blocking out. Although, to be fair, the yarn is so good that it doesn't need a whole lot of blocking. It just needs a tiny bit just to straighten things out a bit. So you do 2 rows of, I think they're petals, but I think it's like a crocodile stitch, which kind of gives the effect of petals when it's used as a border like that. So very happy with that. Thank you, Hannah, for an absolutely amazing pattern. I'd be really tempted to make another one of those as a gift, because it's such a good shape to give as a gift, because not everybody, I think everybody knows how to wear a scarf, don't they? But I think sometimes, maybe I had to show my mum how to put her shawl on that I made her, you know, up and around. So in some ways it's a little bit easier for a non-knitty person who's got about 100,000 shawls in their wardrobe to wear. Does that make sense? Or is it just me that didn't know how to wear a shawl the first time I made one? It's probably just me. So we add it to the pile back here. Move that. Whoops. There we go. I don't think that's going to grow much more. But this bag has been brilliant. It's a perfect size, and it makes me think that when I make my dodgy bags, I should probably make bigger ones because they're a much more useful size. Okay, I'm really excited about my next finished object. This was for every year on my daughter's birthdays. They always request something made by me, and it's been, in the past, it's been knitted things, or it's usually toys, or crochet things, or sewn things. And this year, Lilia had hinted that she wanted a crocheted sloth. And I got several of the Zoomigurumi books. And in Zoomigurumi 6, there is a pattern for Cedric the sloth. I'll show you a picture of Cedric. There he is. So this is what I made. It didn't actually take that long. I was panicking a bit because I didn't start it until like 2 weeks before. And here he is. Here is Lilia's finished Cedric the Sloth. He's not Cedric. Lilia has named him Simon. So this is Simon the Sloth. Hello. There he is with his branch. The green and the brown I just had lying about, and the beige and the baby blue I bought specifically for this project, and I was a bit worried about it because it was a kind of shiny cotton. I do prefer to use cotton for amigurumi projects just because it lasts so much better and it doesn't go sort of bobbly, and we all know how I feel about bobbles. Sorry, I've just realised I've spent the last 10 minutes looking past you at the mirror behind and not at the camera. I apologise. Very rude of me not to look you in the eye. So the yarn I use, this is the bag, by the way, that he was living in. This is a bag that I made inspired by Hannah, of Hannah from Sheep's Alley, who has made a lot of these types of bags. I held some chunky yarn with some DK yarn, and I used a 5mm hook and made a little crochet basket. I think there's actually 2 colours in here, or was it just one graduating colour? I can't remember. Anyway, I'm absolutely thrilled to bits with this. I always wanted to try and line it, but I never got around to it. Just so I could use it as a knitting bag, because knitting needles will poke through, but a crochet hook doesn't really. So the yarn was Rico Essentials Cotton DK. There we are. That's the info. And I had a beige and a blue, and I used throughout a 3mm hook to get a nice tight gauge. A tight gauge. Why couldn't I think of that word? So I'm very pleased with Simon the Sloth. Lilia was absolutely thrilled to bits with him. I've had to go and steal him back from her room upstairs in order to show him on the podcast. I'm going to have to sneak him back up now so that she doesn't notice that he was gone. Say bye, Simon. Bye. Right. This leads me on to my first giveaway. So the other giveaways I'll talk about towards the end. Meteor Books, who produce the Zoomigurumi books, got in touch with me. I'd given away one of their books before, but I can't remember when. They got in touch with me and asked if I would be interested in giving away a couple of copies of their latest Zoomigurumi book, and of course I said yes. So they've given me 2. They gave me 1 copy for me, and they gave me 2 copies to give away. They haven't asked me to do a review of it or anything like that. They're just offering it up to give away, and I guess it's a good promotion for them, and I'm very happy to get a copy of the book because I love the Zoomigurumi books. I have made numerous. I've lost count of the amount of things I have made from the Zoomigurumi books, and they are always brilliant. And the designers that are featured in the Zoomigurumi books are always really, really good, and you'll recognise quite a few of the names. For example, I'm going to show you the book in a minute, but in the latest book you've got Ilaria Kaleri. I've made quite a few of her designs. Irene Strange. Simon the Sloth is by Irene Strange from the other book. Amy Lynn, Elisa Sartori, Moji Design, and several other designers that you'll probably recognise if you like crochet and amigurumi. So this is the book. It's Zoomigurumi 8. It is 15 patterns in this book, and you've got a meerkat, another sloth, which I'll show you in more detail in a minute, the seal, a beaver, a giraffe, a dinosaur, a hummingbird, a raccoon, and a toucan. I'm trying to recognise animals and realising, I don't know if I know my nature enough. If we have a look at the patterns, it might actually tell me if I've got that right. Meet the creatures, where are they? Oh, here we go. So, well, was I right? Was that a beaver? Yes, Woody the beaver. And yes, it was a hummingbird. That's good. So Sammy the seal is the one that's on the front. And I'm going to make Sammy the seal. I have got this yarn already. It's Drops Muscat. It's a DK yarn, Mercer size cotton. I'm pretty much only going to need that, I think, because it's just grey and a little bit of pink or whatever colour I fancy for his bow. So that's the first thing I'm going to make from this book. But there is also, like I say, there is another sloth pattern in here. So cute. Look at his little fingers. I'm going to have to make that. Lily is a little bit sloth obsessed. She's got a sloth calendar and everything. So, yeah, look at the little postcard they sent when they sent the books. How cute is that? Look, they're knitting. And the sloth is, oh, it's a crocheting sloth. It's a knitting sheep and a crocheting sloth. They're too cute. I love them so much. So, yeah, so I've got 2 copies. Now this is going to be released on the 1st of May, and I think the digital book is already out. I think that was released at the beginning of February, but it will be available on, I don't know, I guess Amazon and bookshops and things from the 1st of May, and I will leave a link to the Amazon listing in the show notes below, because I believe that it's already on Amazon. It's just, I don't know if you can pre-order it, but you can't buy it yet, that's for sure. And oh look, that's the back, some of the little characters on the back. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a giveaway on Instagram in the next week or 2, so look out for that. But I'm also going to do a giveaway connected with the podcast, so I'll open a thread on Ravelry after I've uploaded this video. It'll be called the Zoomigurumi 8, I had to check the number then, giveaway thread, and let's just say, what is your spirit animal? Lilia truly believes that her spirit animal is a sloth because she loves to sleep and her sort of goal in life is minimal effort. I think my spirit animal, oh, I shouldn't have asked that question without being able to answer it. I can tell you what my Patronus is on Pottermore. It's a dolphin, which probably would be quite accurate actually, because I love to swim. So tell me what your spirit animal is to be in with a chance to win, and I will draw a winner on the next podcast, which won't hopefully be in 2 to 3 weeks' time. So hop on over to Ravelry, and thank you very much to Me To Your Books for the chance to give those away. So we move on to works in progress. Right, Drippity Drop Socks. I started this as a knit along with my sister Jenny, because I bought her the same yarn for her birthday and myself. Because I bought her this yarn for her birthday, but I really liked it, so I bought myself some. And we decided we would knit the same pattern with it, and we started a sort of sibling sock along. And I did absolutely atrociously, and she's already finished. So I'll put a picture of her finished socks up on the screen now, so you can see what mine will almost look like when I'm finished. She's a much better sock knitter than me. She's only been knitting for a year and has just completely overtaken me in every way. Mine I'm knitting concurrently on DPNs. This is my DPN holder from Coco and Flora. How cute is that? It's so cute. And the yarn is called Over the Rainbow, and it's by Craft House Magic, and it's absolutely beautiful. And the pattern is the Drippity Drop Socks by lovely Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. How I love their podcast. I really do. They're much more professional. Okay, so here's sock number, this is sock number 2 because it's a little bit further behind than the other one. You see how gorgeous that pattern is. Absolutely gorgeous. I turned the heel last night and I'm just about to start the gusset decreases. And sock number 1, which is slightly further ahead, and this one's living DPN case, is by Knitting I Love. Is it on there? And it's not. Knitting I Love, Barbara at Knitting I Love does these wonderful DPN cases and other matching knitting accessories, and you can use them for other things as well. They're a little bit multi-use. So this is when oh, there's her logo. There it is, it was hiding. And this one's slightly further on, but not much. in that I have already started the, oh God, I thought it was further on than this. No, clearly they're both at about the same stage. So I really have done really badly in our sock along. I do my cuffs a lot shorter than my sister does, because I prefer a shorter leg length, just because I wear skinny jeans and it's much easier to get them on underneath my skinny jeans. So there you go. That is the Drippity Drop Socks in progress. I'm really enjoying the pattern. It's a really easy 4-row repeat that once you've done it a few times, it's really easy to memorise. And now that I've turned the heel and I'm on the gusset decreases, once those are done, it is plain sailing to the end. Oh, I'll tell you what I did forget to do though. It was a sock set I bought, and I was really excited about it because the contrasting colour that goes with it, I can't remember what the contrast is called, Cloudy Skies. I just loved it, and I thought, oh, that's going to look so nice. There it is. And I completely forgot to use it. I was enjoying the pattern, knit, past the heel. I was like, oh, I haven't actually used it. So I'll probably use it for the toes. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll just do socks all in one colour and use the mini skein for something else. I don't know. What a donut. Just completely forgot to use the mini skein, honestly. Okay, and that's all living in my lovely little sock bag from Sherry at Ollie and Bella. She sent me this and it's so beautiful. This gorgeous yellow fabric, and that's her little tag there. She's doing Marchmas vlogs at the moment. They're not every day. They're bunched into several videos throughout the month, and I've really got to catch up on them. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going to carve out some time once things calm down a bit next week when it's the Easter holidays. So that's my first work in progress. My next work in progress is living in my also Coco and Flora bag. Oh, I just love this. This was a gift from Eva at Coco and Flora, and the details on it are just perfect. There's a little umbrella stitch marker to match the print. The yellow zip, we've got my little tag there. It's lined with this beautiful blue. The colours are just amazing. And this came all the way to Belgium with me a couple of weeks ago. I went to Ghent in Belgium for a work trip, and I wanted a good project that I could just, a good vanilla sock that I could just knit away on, because it was a long train journey and lots of travelling about on trams and stuff. So I cast on socks for Dan, and this is using, what's the name of the yarn again? Grundle Hot Socks with Cashmere, and I bought this at the Newbury Yarn Festival in September last year, and it's a self-patterning sock. That's what it looks like balled up, and this is what it looks like when you're knitting it. Let's get that out of the way. Look at that! I'm just going to knit the whole thing in one colour. I don't think I'm going to do any contrast colours. Just got to hope I don't run out of yarn. I'm going to weigh. So this is where I'm up to here. I think he wants quite a long leg, but I'm going to keep an eye on the weight of what I've got remaining, because obviously he's got relatively large feet, so we need enough to do the foot. We don't want to run out. But I just love those colours. I love them. Really thrilled to bits with them. And I've done an extra large kind of cast on for these. How many did I cast on? Oh, I think I did 68, because they usually fit quite tight over the bridge of his foot. And I wanted these to be really easy to get on and really nice and warm and cosy. He'll be lucky if they're even ready before Christmas, to be honest, because I'm only going to be knitting on them on journeys and when I don't fancy knitting on anything else. So those are down socks, and the other one is just past the cuff, so there's not a lot to say about that other than the fact it's living in my lovely custom made 20cm DPM holder by Rachel at So Ray Me. Thank you, Rachel. I love it. I love the colour. Right, let's pop that back in. So that's a really good project for travelling around, and Belgium was really good with work. And I just want to say thank you very much to Els who gave me some fantastic tips on where to buy sweets and what sweets to buy. They were delicious. Thank you, Els. Next work in progress. Right. This work in progress is in the naughty corner. Excuse the crinkling. I haven't got it in a project bag yet because I haven't got one big enough, so it's just in a bag. I have a load of paint box Simply Aran that my non-knitty friend gave me for my birthday the year before last. Yeah, the year before last. In all different colours. She gave me different weights as well. And I thought it would be perfect to make the very wonderful... Oh, sorry about the black and white copy. I might have to put a picture up on the screen because you're not going to be able to see it. It's My Favourite Jeans top. I did talk about it last time. It's by Natalie of Detroit Knots, which I found really hard to get my mouth around. Detroit Knots. And it's this gorgeous kind of chevron style short-sleeved crochet top. And I thought, that yarn would be perfect. Now, it's written for a worsted weight yarn, and this is an Aran weight yarn, which is a slightly different weight. But I got gauge using my freebie hook from a magazine, a 4mm hook. So I did quite a few gauge swatches, and I got gauge, and I've started, it's worked from the bottom up. Sorry about all the ends. So because this is the second time I've done this, so I've started to work my way up like this, and I've got to the point where I can measure to see if it's what it's supposed to be for the point where I am in the pattern, and it is way out. So I've measured my gauge again on what I've done, and my gauge is right, but the measurement along this bottom edge is about 2 inches smaller than it ought to be. And I honestly can't work out why. I cannot work out where I'm going wrong. If I've got gauge, and it's a slightly different weight of yarn, but that surely shouldn't matter if I've got gauge. But it's just not coming out right. So I don't know whether to just make a bigger size, or whether it's because by the time I make a back, I don't know. I don't know whether to just make a bigger size, because I don't want it overall to be too big. Also, I consider myself to be quite an experienced crocheter, but my mind can't get around. So it works up in the middle. You go up and you just do like a little 2 DC cluster with a chain in the middle. And when I get to the bit where I have to do that in the chain of the previous row, my eyes can't decipher where the chain is. And I've done this a million times before. I don't know if it's because the yarn is chunky, but I can't see it, so I've had to use stitch markers. Got these lovely little stitch markers that my husband bought me, little shortbread and cup of tea. I've had to use stitch markers to mark the 2 stitches either side of the chain, otherwise I keep putting it in the wrong place and it goes wonky. But I really love how it looks. I like the colours. I like how it's like I'm dividing it up with the white. I like how the colours are working together, and I think it would look really nice. But I can't work out what I'm doing wrong and why I'm getting the wrong measurement, and whether I should just not worry about it like the old days before I cared about things like gauge, and just make the bigger size so that I get the measurement that I need. It's very quick to work up, so to be honest I could just give it a go and then rip it back if I had to. And it's a very enjoyable thing to do. It's very simple, and because it works up quickly, it's satisfying. What shall I do? I don't know. So anyway, my mind then starts to go, does not compute, and I have to just put it to one side because I can't think about it. So watch this space on that one. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I will let you know. The souvenir shawl. Do you remember last time I talked about the box of singular loveliness? You might want to go back and check my last episode for an explanation of that. And I said I had a beautiful skein of Nora George Snowdrop yarn. I've now balled it up. I ball all my yarn by hand because I like it. Except my Apple Watch always thinks I'm going for a run when I do that. It looks even more beautiful in a ball than it did in the skein. I absolutely love it. I'm going to make the souvenir shawl. Excuse the very faded print. which is a pattern by Maria Samuelson, and the designer actually gave me this pattern as a gift, which was really, really lovely. Thank you so much, Maria. And the yarn was a gift from my friend Lou. Hi Lou, thank you for the yarn. And I haven't started yet. I balled it up last night and I'm going to cast that on at some point over the next couple of days. The bag is divine. I bought this in the Etsy sellers sale recently. It's by Piggy's Market. Does she have a little tag? There you go. Piggy's Market on Etsy. And the print is these gorgeous bikes with flowers. I just love it. I'd love to buy an old bike that's just completely past it and not rideable anymore, and have it as like a feature in the garden and have a basket on the front and grow flowers in it. And wouldn't that be nice? I have all ideas for the garden, but no interest in actually doing it. Anyway, it would be nice, and that's going to be a lovely project. So I'm looking forward to getting that cast on. Is that it for works in? Well, obviously that's not it for works in progress, but that's all I'm going to show you for today. So let's go on to patterns on my radar. Now, I was very fortunate to be sent a gift pattern on Ravelry by my lovely friend Beth. Hi Beth. And she's done this before. She randomly gifted me a pattern. She gave me the Hotel of Bees shawl pattern ages ago, when Sandra of Cherry Heart and Sam of Betsy Makes were running the Hotel of Bees crochet along. And she sent me that pattern, which enabled me to make it, and I was so grateful for that. And every time I wear that shawl, I always think of Beth, and I think how lovely that was for her to do this. And then out of the blue, she sent me as a gift the Lake, I keep wanting to say the Lake of Meredith, but it's not. It's the Lake of Menteith shawl. It's by Kat Golding of the Crochet Project. It's a very unusual construction. I absolutely love it. Let's see if there's any little information in here about the name. It just says that the colours are to reflect the moody, rainy summer that it was made in. A moody, rainy summer sounds like my kind of summer. I like a moody, rainy summer. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm going to have to look at the projects that have already been made on Ravelry and get a sense of how it looks in different yarns, and then I can start to choose which yarns I want to use for that. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much, Beth. So that is a pattern on my radar. Another pattern on my radar, which I haven't printed out, so I'm going to put a picture of it up on the screen, was also a gift. I promise you. I am such a spoiled brat. I've said this before, but how lucky am I to have received these wonderful pattern gifts? And honestly, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate things and how bad I am at voicing that appreciation or writing it when I message people. But whenever that happens, I just, I've spent days like talking about it. I'll be saying to my husband, can you believe that she sent me that? Can you believe it? Yeah, so thank you is my point. Lovely Deanne of Adiday Designs. I had a really rubbish day the other day, and I might have mentioned on Instagram that I was having a bit of a rubbish day. And lots of lovely people were also having rubbish days, and we all sort of picked each other up a little bit, and lots of people were very, very kind to comment, so thank you for that. And Deanne sent me a copy of her latest pattern on Ravelry and said, sorry you're having a bit of a rubbish day, here's a pattern. And it is a beautiful pattern. I haven't printed it out, and actually probably if I did it wouldn't do it justice, so I'm going to put a picture up on the screen now. It is the Waru shawl. Right? Amazing. The colours that she's used for hers, it would never occur to me to use such a dark colour like that, and it's just so effective. I want to do that. So I have started to pick out the yarns I want to use, but I'm really, really bad at doing this. So I want your opinion. Now for this shawl, you can make two different sizes. The small size takes 3 colours and the large size takes 4 colours. They don't all use, I don't think, a full skein of yarn for each colour, and it's fingering weight yarn. So I've been picking out colours and getting them together. Now this is my bag that was made for me when Claudia of Crochet Luna and I did a swap, and we both sent a bag and some other bits and bobs, and this is the bag that she made me, and it's got this beautiful matching stitch marker on it. How pretty is that? And look, it's got her Crochet Luna, she's very profesh, she's got her own little Crochet Luna label in there, and it's really nice and big, so it's going to be perfect for this project. And because it's a crochet project, and Claudia is a crochet genius, crochet queen, I thought it was perfect. Okay, so what do we think? I'm going to make the big one because obviously I'm all about using my stash at the moment, and I picked some really special ones, and they've kind of got a theme. Okay, so 2 of these were gift yarns and 2 of them weren't. So my first one was a gift from Becky of Back to Blighty, my lovely friend Becky. Hi Becky. She is a very talented yarn dyer. I'm very fortunate to have a few skeins of her yarn. Most of it she has gifted to me, and some of it my husband has given to me as gifts. And this is the very first skein of yarn that Becky ever gave me, so it's really precious. It's called Lobster Lagoon, and it is a 65% superwash merino, 20% bamboo and 15% silk, and that content makes it even more precious. So the person that gave it to me, the name of the colourway, Lobster Lagoon, the sentiment behind it, the content of the yarn, and just everything just makes this one of my preciouses. But I also have another skein of yarn that was a gift, which is also lobster related. It's a Mr. B yarn. This is my only ever skein of Mr. B yarns, and it's absolutely beautiful. It is called But He's Her Lobster, which is a reference to Friends. And it was a gift from my lovely friend Lou in April last year, so almost a year ago. So like I say, it's also lobster themed, and they've both got this kind of coral colour in, so they kind of work rather well together. They've both got some bluey greens, and they've both got the coral. So I really like, it's really hard to show you on the screen, isn't it? Trying to get the colours. So I really like those together, like that. And then my third colour is not lobster related, but it is seaside related. And I bought this myself from, well, so this is the old tag, so I'm not going to show you the old tag. It's from Iron Bridge Yarns, Felicity at Iron Bridge Yarns. And this is her Searching for Sea Glass colour. And it's a 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon and 5% stellina. And it's Searching for Sea Glass, and I got this because that is something I always do. I've got such a collection of sea glass. It's ridiculous. I'm going to need to find a use for it, or a really cool way to display it. So that's my third colour, so let's pop that on as well. So seaside-y theme going on here. I'm doing a really bad job of trying to hold up all the colours and hide my fingernails at the same time. See, now don't they work together well? And then for the dramatic border is where things start to fall apart slightly, because I've got a dark colour, but I can easily dye a dark colour. I could just get some yarn from eBay and dye a dark colour. But I already have this one, which I already dyed, which is a very dark grey with pink, and it's the pink that's worrying me. I dyed this to go with my self-merging socks, which I talked about last podcast, and it was literally just a case of dyeing with leftover dye. I do have some yarn. I could dye it. I could just dye it a really dark grey or even black if you think the pink doesn't work. So this is about to get a whole lot more challenging. The 3 yarns without showing my fingernails. And the dark one with the pink. What do you think? Will that one work as a nice dramatic contrast colour? What do you think? Looks quite nice on the screen actually. It looks like it could be a beach with a moody sunset sky or a moody rainy sky. Ooh. So, thoughts? Opinions? I'm very excited about this project, can you tell? So that's all going to go nice and safely back in my Crochet Luna bag, ready for starting. I think I might just print the pattern off when I'm at work on Friday and yeah, get started. Why not? I'm feeling quite virtuous in the whip stakes at the moment, so why not cast something on and make myself feel overwhelmed. Okay, I think that's it for patterns on my radar. Let's move on to incoming things. I've got a few incoming things, and despite the fact that I'm not buying yarn at the moment, it's all yarn. What can I say? Yarn just finds me. So I will explain. First of all, my Little French Meadow mini skein club arrived. Everyone knows how much I love this mini skein club. They do it every 3 months. They open up sign-ups. It's really affordable, and you get 2 little minis and a little edible treat. In this case, it was a little chocolate egg, which is gone. I didn't eat it. I should learn not to open these when Phoebe's around, because she always snaffles whatever edible treat is there. And you also get a little stitch marker. And every month it's themed. So this is the April one, and the theme is, oh goodness me, extravaganza. Now I can't say the word extravaganza without saying it now like RuPaul on Drag Race. So extravaganza. So it's extravaganza eleganza. Oh, be quiet. And the 2 colours are cream egg and mini eggs. And I think it will be immediately obvious which one's which. So we've got cream egg on the top and mini eggs at the bottom, and they just both make me really, really want chocolate eggs. And the stitch marker for this month, of course, is an Easter egg. Yay! Absolutely beautiful. They always hit the mark every month. Alison and Yola, you are brilliant. They're brilliant people and they're brilliant dyers. So I really look forward to that, and that was not a disappointment. The next thing I got was a mystery, and this was a mystery for quite some time. So I got a delivery from Leaf Yarns. Now I believe the girl, can't remember her name, but the girl that is the dyer behind Leaf Yarns, I believe, also has the Leaf Yarns podcast. I haven't yet watched it, but I'm looking forward to giving it a go, because it comes highly recommended by a very good friend of mine, who it actually turns out was responsible for sending the yarn. But when it arrived, I was very confused, because first of all, it's called Iridescent, and it's a self-striping sock yarn. It's 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. There's the colours. Absolutely beautiful, but I didn't order it. So I got straight in touch with the dyer and sort of said, look, I'm not sure what's going on. Oh look, there's a little, I didn't notice that before. Get on the screen. It's a little leaf stitch marker. Pretty. And I said, I'm really sorry, but you've sent me some yarn and I think there might be a mistake because I didn't order any. And she said, no, I can't say anything, it's a secret, but there is a card on its way to you. So I thought, oh, how exciting, the plot thickens. So I waited, and I didn't want to email again because I thought, oh, I don't want to be like stalking her about who this yarn is from. But a card never arrived. And then one day I had a message on Instagram from my lovely friend Carrie. Hi Carrie, she is my wool mitten. And we have been talking now online for quite some time, a few years, at least since I started podcasting. And she had sent this to me just as a lovely friendship gift, and I don't deserve it at all, and it's a beautiful thing. She said the colours made her think of my girls, and yeah, it was just a really lovely thing. So thank you, Carrie. Self-striping, it's going to be gorgeous, and I think I might have to make socks for Lilia out of these because she is very knit-worthy. She always wears her knitted socks, so I think that's what I'll do with those. And I think she'll love those colours because she's a big lover of blue. And if there's enough, I could make them self-striping shorty socks, couldn't I? And they could both have a pair. Yeah, so thank you so much. That's a beautiful present. And I'm going to go and check out the Leaf Yarns podcast when I get a chance. The next thing I got was also a gift. Everything's a gift, just so you know, because as I said, I am a spoiled brat. This was from my friend Becky, back to Blighty. This is her yarn label. Her whole kind of branding is really lovely. This kind of vintage, back to Blighty, wartime kind of thing. I really like it. This is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and it's 4 25-gram minis in the crocus colourway. Look at the colours. Hang on, I've got a message flashing up on my, sorry about that. I had a message flashing up, I had to get rid of it. Yeah, so these are the crocus colours. Oh, stunning. She really is. I dye yarn for fun, and I have no idea how she manages to get these colours. She really is a talented person. Thank you, Becky, and look what she popped on. And this was just in honour of our little make along that we did together, the Cozy Up for Winter Mow. It was just to say thanks for that. It was fun. And it was fun, and I hope to do it again next year with you, Becky, if you're up for it. Yeah, so that was my second incoming thing. And then I had one last thing, and this was I had a message on Ravelry from a lovely lady called Beverly. Hi, Beverly. And she said, I want to send you a present and I want to support Ellie of Craft House Magic. Hi, Ellie. I love Ellie's podcast. She's doing weekly podcasts at the moment. I can barely keep up. But just lovely. I love her podcast and I love all the things she makes. And she's another very talented person. She's a talented sewer and bag maker and yarn dyer, which is about to be evidenced by what I'm about to show you. So Beverly said, I'd like you to choose a skein of yarn from Ellie's shop as a gift from me, which is an incredibly generous offer. Thank you so much, Beverly. And I went and had a look at Ellie's shop, and Ellie often, or I don't know if it's all the time, but I think on the whole, her yarn colours are named after songs, and quite often they're songs from the 80s. And I don't want any more fingering weight yarn at the moment. I'm going to try and build up my DK and sort of heavier weight yarns. So I chose a DK based yarn, and I chose her Land of Make Believe colourway, which was a Bucks Fizz song. And the reason I chose it is because when we were little, my sister and I, it's a family joke now, and Land of Make Believe by Bucks Fizz came out, we wanted to listen to that on repeat. So my dad would play it in the car, and then as soon as it had finished, we'd go 1, 2, 3, play it again, Daddy, like this. And my dad always remembers that from us growing up, when he said every time he heard that song on the radio, he could just automatically hear us in his head going, play it again, Daddy. So it was really sort of a song that really reminds me of times growing up with my dad in the back of the car, driving through France on our way to some campsite somewhere, or probably some vineyard or whiskey distillery or something. So well, that wouldn't have been whiskey, cognac. So that was an obvious choice for me. It's beautifully. How does she get those speckles? How is it done? I think she uses magic. I think that must be it. So thank you so much, Ellie. That is a beautiful skein of yarn, and she popped in a little extra mini, and this is Superwash Merino Cashmere. She's Like the Wind. Bit of Patrick Swayze. That is so pretty. Tiny little mini, and a gorgeous smelling. It's got a big sheep on one side and little sheep on the other side, and it smells divine. So I will pop that into the project that I make with that yarn. So thank you, Ellie, for sending that, and thank you so much, Beverly, for the beautiful gift from Ellie. That's a very precious skein of yarn, and I can't wait to come up with a good project for it. Thank you. Really, really love it. So, enough of this spoiled brattery, which isn't a word. Spoiled brattishness. And let's move on to a blast from the past. Here it is. Okay. I wanted to do a different blast from the past, but I couldn't find it. It's missing. So hopefully I will find that one day soon, because it's hilarious. So this is just I think quite a boring one. This is the first crochet shawl I ever made. It's made from 100% acrylic, weird green colour yarn. But it has got tassels. Yay for tassels! Yay! And it's a pattern from the Happy Hooker book. That's all I can say. It's the first crochet shawl I ever made. It's a pattern from the Happy Hooker book. And it's too small, really, because, let me put it on. I mean, I could wear it if I wanted to be, I don't know, the old lady offering an apple in Snow White. I suppose I could wear it like that. But it's too short, really, to do the whole shawl wearing thing. Not quite long enough. Well, maybe it's all right. What do we think? So I don't know what to do with it, because I don't really wear it, because I've got much nicer things to wear. Maybe I should keep it in the car as something, you know, in case of emergency winter wear requirement. Maybe I should have a bag, sort of like, in case of winter weather break seal, and just have like knitwear in it. So yeah, that's my blast from the past from today. It's very short and sweet, and it's not as hilarious. I shouldn't have told you about the other version, the other option, which I can't find, because it makes it seem even more disappointing. But yeah, yay for tassels though. Oh god, that's made my hair go really static. I'm going to have to go and put moisturiser on my hair. Hang on, it's got really dark. I wonder if it's about to rain again. Okay, let's finish up with some giveaways. So we've already talked about the giveaway for the Zoomigurumi 8 book earlier, so make sure you go and check out that on Ravelry. I've got the winner to announce for the Daydreaming socks. Now this is the crochet pattern by Fran de Fleurs, who is Viv. I've made these socks myself, and I really, really like the pattern. And she gave a copy for the podcast to give away. So I went in and locked that thread this morning, and there were there were 29 entries altogether. I got Alexa to pick a random number. She picked number 7, and that is Carleen, who is Carleen Page. And the prompt that I asked was, where is your favourite place to daydream? What is your favourite thing to daydream about? And Carleen's answer was the beach. So, and I think I would probably, that would probably be high up on my list of things to daydream about as well. So Carleen, I will arrange for Viv to send the copy of that pattern to you. Okay, so well done. And thank you to everyone who entered. It was fun to read through all of your answers to that. Also, I must say that I announced the winners for the Cozy Up for Winter Mal in a separate video with Becky from Back to Blighty. So please go and check that out if you took part, because there were a couple of winners that haven't got in touch with me. And I've still got 2 prizes waiting to be sent out. So go and watch that video again if you played along, and see if you might have been one of those winners. Okay, new giveaways. I've got 2 amazing patterns. Oh, and I've just realised I meant to bring something down. All right, I'm going to have to go and get something in a minute. Hang on. Let's go and get it now. Bear with. Right. Okay, so the first pattern giveaway I've got is the High Tea with Jam and Crumpets shawl by Jen Sheelan. Now, Jen Sheelan's given quite a few patterns to this podcast as giveaways, and every time she does, she gifts a copy of that pattern to me as well, and I've yet to make any of them. And every time she sends one, I think, oh, I really want to make that. I must make the time to make that. Then she sends another one and I'm like, no, I want to make that one. They just keep getting better. And the last one she did was the Rustic Elegant shawl. And I really, really like that one. But the one she just sent through, you need to go and have a look at it. It is the High Tea with Jam and Crumpet shawl. And what it says on the pattern is it's quite easy to adjust the size because you just add or subtract a 20 row repeat. And she's done a 2-colour version. It's a fingering weight shawl, and I think it uses just 2 skeins, so which makes it even more tempting because that's a nice, like, 1 skein, 2 skeins, choose 2 from your stash, put them together, and you've got a lovely shawl. So, and it's a really nice design. So she's given us a copy of that to give away, so I'm going to start a thread for that in the Ravelry group. I haven't thought of a prompt, but I will. So head along there, and all of the giveaway threads will be linked underneath this video. I do always link those, so it's easy just to hop on over to Ravelry. So thank you, Jen, for donating that as a prize pattern. And the second one that I've got is the Ziggy Interrupted shawl, and this is by Sandra of the Cherry Heart podcast. So thank you so much, Sandra. When she got in touch to say would I like a copy of this to give away, I was like, yes. let's not think about that for too long, because it's an amazing pattern, and I've been watching as she's been sort of developing it on her podcast and on Instagram, and you know, up to the point where she released it. And it is a kind of follow-on from her Ziggy, Getting Ziggy shawl. But this is a scarf that's got the same kind of zigginess, but it's got like little mini granny squares as well. So it's a scarf shape rather than a shawl shape. God, that's hard to say. It's a scarf shape rather than a shawl shape. Try saying that really quickly, or after a glass of wine. And it's a fingering weight project, and it uses 5 skeins of 100-gram fingering weight yarn. And I said all of those words in the wrong order. It uses 5 100-gram skeins of fingering weight yarn. There you go. Stash buster or what? So I'm very excited about this as well. I'm like basically very excited about everything, obviously, today. But it made me think as well, ages ago I bought Sandra's Getting Ziggy pattern and I bought it purely because I had the yarn, and the moment I saw the 2 yarns together, I thought, oh, I know exactly what those yarns are going to be, and I put them in a bag. The bag is a bag by Oh So Lily. I'm not sure if she's selling at the moment or not, but she's Oh So Lily on Etsy. It's a lovely bag because it's got a round bottom. Yeah. So it's a really nice size. And the 2 skeins of yarn I immediately wanted to use for the Getting Ziggy shawl. Now they've been unskeined and re-skeined by me, so they look in no way like they... Let's just unskein them to show you, shall we? That would be better. So this is an unknown skein of yarn. It was sent to me by Lily of Nordic Stitches, and it's a kind of zingy yellowy green colour. And this absolute beauty is by the wonderful Alison of Biff Sugar Yarns, who is another yarn dyeing ninja. And this is called Wildflower Meadow, and this is on her Superwash Merino nylon fingering weight base. She's Biff Sugar Yarns, that's her. I'm sure you've heard of her. And this was a gift from Alison a while ago, I think. And when I saw these 2 together, let's make a mess of this. Let's wind up. I just love them together. The zingy green with the kind of meadow green and those pops of like neon pink, and just think how like bright and striking that's going to be. And I'm absolutely rubbish at doing this. Haha, how's that? I really, really love those. So every time I come back to it, I think, oh, maybe not. Maybe I'll use that in another project, or maybe I'll use this one in another project, or, you know, and I try to talk myself out of it, and then I'll pop them down on the floor or on the bed, and then I'll walk back in and I'll see them together and I think, no, I've got to make that shawl. So I just think they were destined to be that Forgetting Ziggy shawl. I'll skim that one up later. Where was I? Oh right, yes. So the Ziggy Interrupted shawl, Sandra has very kindly given us a copy of that pattern for a giveaway. So I'll open a thread for that over on Ravelry as well. That will be linked below, and I'll think of a prompt when I do it. And that's it. I mean, it feels to me like I've done that really quickly. So there we are. Hopefully a relatively quick episode for me, because let's face it, if you're watching the April vlogs as well, I think a shortish episode will probably be welcome. Otherwise you're just going to be sick to the back teeth of me. So make sure you head over to Ravelry to enter all those giveaways, win the patterns, win the Zoomigurumi 8 book. Maybe when this is out, I know, because no, it's too difficult, isn't it? Maybe we could have like a amigurumi along or something. It doesn't have to be a Zoomigurumi one, it could just be any amigurumi. I don't know. Let's just say that was me thinking out loud, and if I can come up with any details around it, maybe we'll do it, but maybe I'll just forget about it or pretend I never said anything. Anyway, that's me. I hope you have a lovely time crocheting or knitting or just generally making things. Hope you have a lovely, lovely Easter, and I will see you towards the end of April. Well, I'll see you every day until the end of April because I'm vlogging every day. I just wanted to say an enormous thank you. I don't think I say it enough to everybody that subscribes and everybody that likes these videos. Putting yourself out there on YouTube is both absolutely brilliant and rewarding and really scary at the same time. And there is never a time when I press publish on a video that I take it for granted that anybody's going to watch it or anybody's going to like it. And I always feel nervous to press publish on anything. So your likes and your positive comments mean a lot to me, and it's what helps me to keep doing it, to know that you're enjoying it. So I just want to say thank you, because it takes time to bother to write a comment, and I know that I'm guilty of watching videos and being either too nervous to leave a comment, or feel silly leaving a comment, or I forget to leave a comment, or I'm watching it on the telly and I can't leave comments when I'm watching it on the telly, and I forget to log in on my phone to do it. So it does take time to do, and I really, really appreciate it. I always reply to all my comments. Sometimes it takes me longer than others, but I always do reply, and I really do appreciate your input, and I really appreciate your encouragement, and thank you for joining me, and thank you for loving the same things that I do, which is all the yarny stuff. And I hope you found something here today that you found interesting. I'm going to stop talking now. See you soon. Bye.